I bid you welcome or welcome back. So, how should I start this? This year I haven't really been participating in Mab's Drawlloween club. A prompt list I more or less completed every year since 2020. You know, I haven't done really anything for a whole set of reasons, but right now I just wanted to make a really quick Let's Paint video of combining 3 random prompts from this list. So let's go and randomly select 3 of these. I removed the spooky intro. I don't want to do anything about myself this time. Also, there are these 4 prompts. I already did something with these this year, and hopefully you will see that in a future video. I did these in watercolor. So let's just keep the other ones, and I will pick 3 of those and somehow combine them. And also, I just woke up today and started splattering around in an empty document, and I just got to this point with this random face. I just completely did this out of imagination. I want to use this as a base for whatever I will be doing. Let's do the rolling really quickly. The first one is lightning LED. Let's remove that really quickly. Second, oh, I left Ghost Rider in somehow. I had a duplicate, doesn't matter. And the third one, after laboratory, is haunting. Okay, so our 3 prompts are lightning LED, laboratory, and haunting. What I have in mind just looking at these prompts, I immediately thought about like something to do with Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, you know, laboratory and lightning. But even beforehand, I was looking at this prompt list, and lightning LED somehow just gave me the idea of this lighthouse keeper in a thunderstorm, you know, with the old rain protection hat and with a coat, and also a haunting and a laboratory. So it feels like maybe there's like a laboratory set up at the lighthouse. There is the ghost of a lighthouse keeper who died in a storm somehow. You know what, there are those little houses that somehow are connected sometimes to the lighthouses. Like when the lighthouse keeper has a separate building, I have to do a little quick research on how those generally work. What if there was a little lab set up there, and that is where the ghost of the lighthouse keeper would be haunting, with the lighthouse in the storm in the background visible through a window or maybe through a destroyed wall, and I would just use this character as the face of the lighthouse keeper. I would, like, you know, shrink it a lot, something like this, or maybe even smaller, and figure out how to build the entire rest of the picture around it. Let's do that exactly as I said. Here I spent like 7 minutes showing some random images from Google and saying what I can tell you in about 20 seconds. This will be partially based on the many adaptations of Frankenstein, archived photos of chemistry labs from the early 20th century, the 2017 movie titled The Lighthouse, and I found many images of how these lighthouse keeper residences would look, and I just incorporated all of them into my already halfway formed idea. First of all, I will upscale this picture to my regular size what I'm working with. Okay, and I will also flip it to the side like this. And I'm thinking about like having this character standing somewhere here. I'll keep it a little bit bigger for now, and I can always shrink later. We will have parts of the destroyed wall, like pieces of wood sticking out. There will be like a camp station with these bottles and some other equipment nearby, halfway destroyed shelf, much smaller, something like this maybe. Maybe we can have a calendar here that says like 1902 or something. You know what, this thing could be part of a destroyed window. Like there's gonna be a little glass in here, like this is glass, broken glass in here, just a piece of broken wood remaining from this side of the window, alongside with much of the window frame and like the supporting structure just peeking in from the top. Our character will be standing somewhere here. The lighthouse is in the distance, or maybe the lighthouse could be pointing towards us in the moment. Like this is the beam, and that will light up the character's silhouette. Let's see what we can turn this into. I still have the muscle memory of looking much lower because I just got a replacement for my camera, but you will not notice any of that in the video. Dropping in some colors and values, making sure to separate the outside area from the inside area. I early on established that there will be some sort of this camera light in the room with us. So the environment is lit by not only the lighthouse, but by plenty of light coming from the viewer, around from the viewer, so we can see the scene properly, even if it doesn't line up entirely with the physics of the scene. It's always a decision that you can make. Just be always mindful when distorting reality like this, and keep in mind what you want to focus on when adding any sort of magic light coming from nowhere that is only there to light up your scene the way you want it to look. Okay, we're doing some significant progress here. I really want this fading away ghost effect, but not like a clean fade, but with the torn clothing, like you will see almost the complete outline out of the clothes that were torn to shreds. And I also want to add more elements into the character, you know, like different sea elements, like a fish hook tangled into the character or something, and like a little sea star. Is it called a sea star in English? I'm not entirely sure. Starfish, there you go. Like a little starfish somewhere on the head of the character, like here or something. And just figure out what else is gonna be in this little room. So let's do that. For the design of the lightning LED, I did want to add some sea creatures, obviously inspired by 1,000 pieces of different media, and I wanted to add barnacles at one point, either to just the face or to the clothing as well, but I misremembered the name of them, so I searched for barracuda instead, which is a fish. So I got the idea of adding an entire fish into the uniform of the character that was stuck inside, and also with the fishing line, fishing wire wrapped around the character, and I removed the single big hook that I added before. Also, I didn't mention, but yes, the character being like torn in half was also inspired by the comic book called Saga, with a ghost character looking similar. Other than that, I made a generic uniform without any markings, which feels rather timeless for a character like this. So far I seriously darkened the sky. This is how it was before, and it's like a cloudy afternoon, not a rainy night. Also, I've seen this trope of just a hook or an anchor being like cut into a character before. There we go. We had this hook that is inside the shoulder of the character, but I've seen that way too many times. I feel like it's in Dead by Daylight, and I'm pretty sure that it's in like I don't know, one of the extras in Pirates of the Caribbean. So instead I decided to just add an entire barracuda that is caught on a fishing line, and this fishing line is like tangled around the face of the character, and it's gonna be like really pushing into the skin, so you will see a little indent around it. And also I added this little bottle that has a message in it, maybe a message that they were never able to deliver, and they are hoping to come back to this abandoned location and hand it towards their loved one that it was meant to be for. Next, I want to go and work on the character's face a little, and also separate the silhouette from the background with some extra value changes, namely either adding a whole bunch of fog into the background and making that lighter, or making the character stand out by being the character lighter. That sentence sounded funny. We will work on the values and figure out how it works. That's what I meant. The face really went through a transformation here if you compare them on the video. So I also worked entirely from imagination. This character was not based on any living person, so if you recognize anyone from the image, please share that with me. Any resemblance to a real person is accidental. I added seaweed to the uniform to make it look like a person who drowned after falling into the water and getting tangled into it, before getting also tangled into the fishing wire, possibly by the person who found the body. So just hear me out. I'm making this all up as I'm typing it into my script. The way the look of the ghost was created is the image of the corpse with the fish and the seaweed and the torn uniform of what once was a human was combined with the real face of the person, the way they were remembered by others, and that is how the ghost looks like that. Do you just love it when you can retroactively explain your design decisions? It's a really cool thing to do, and by cool, what I really mean is sloppy, and don't do it like this. I am an exception because I am a narcissist. So far we've been working a lot on the lightning LED and the haunting parts, but not as much on the lab part, which takes up most of the composition, if not the most important part. So I want to continue adding some more stuff to this table and to this little bookcase, and figure out what else goes on the wall. And also I want to create a wall that is painted white from the inside, but it's really heavily peeling off, so you will see a lot of little like flicked off paint, sort of like my fingernails after 3 days. And and the insides of the wall is still gonna be brown, this unpainted wood that makes up this entire place, and we will figure it all out during the way. Also, that sea sort of looks like, I don't know, just a sheet of cardboard right now, but we'll do something to that as well. Yeah, that's gonna be the vibe that we're going for. I just made up my mind completely. Here comes a long part of the process when I work on the environment and a significant amount on the character too, so now it's time to read out something I typed down. Now that the time-lapse is rolling and I'm sitting here with an open document, I can freely talk about some other things. So first of all, yes, I did not complete Maps Drawlloween Club this year beyond making a few little things. I'm attending a course, working on other things I'll be showing at a later date, and I didn't make enough videos at this point that could be a meme on this channel, really. Don't even worry about it, I'll make 1 or 2 when I can. I'm only disappointed for this one because I had the mic sensitivity messed up, and it messed up my updates, and it sounds muffled beyond the fact I just absolutely failed to do a proper voice for most of it, including this voice that I'm recording right now. I also didn't have makeup on while recording these. It was the biggest amount of effort I was able to do right now. Sitting down to make videos is really hard when I'm literally in the stage where I am right now for several reasons, and I will not bring up those after multiple attempts at trying to somehow express it. I'll just keep these videos about my creations and not about myself. And as much as I love the yearly Halloween videos, I didn't even finish one from the last year, like the big one that I was planning on doing. I have like 100 hours of footage from that project alone, and I just did a little quick one about me goofing around in a realistic paint studio. Honestly, if I just had the patience and the willpower to start and make a bunch of videos only from what I recorded so far, maybe I could make like 50 plus videos. It's just way too mentally draining for me to make, more than one every few weeks or even few months now. It's just long and tedious, and I would totally make an hour-long video of every single thing I ever made, but knowing that nobody would watch those is just too much. So I will definitely make more videos. I'm thinking about making videos every single day. I record every moment of me making digital paintings, traditional watercolors, other kinds of drawings. It's just the process of sitting down and sinking hours upon hours into them is enough to hold me back from making more of them. So please, if you watch this one, just leave any feedback. I'll even be happy to get a dislike, because that's more than what the great majority of the few people who will ever click on this video will give me, and it's an honest piece of feedback. If I had the money to pay someone to edit this together from my recordings, I'd release like 2 videos every week, or just whatever, of just whatever I make. I'm not really recording that sentence. It's simply the process of sitting down and putting these together is what feels like a struggle until the one video I make after more than a month is partially about why I'm not making more videos. So topic is over, and let's go back to the painting I'm working on in this one. Okay, I've been working on this on and off for the past few days, and now it's time to finally finish this piece. I am like mostly done with the figure. Maybe I'll like just fix up little things. What is really needed is more stuff for the lab, more of these books on the bottom part of this shelf. I also want to add some little pictures in the picture, so there will be a little standing picture like this one featuring 2 people, one of them wearing this uniform indicating that that is this person when they were alive. Here I want to add 2 paintings that are both references to the original Frankenstein. One of them is gonna be like a boat among some icebergs. People who have seen only the Universal Pictures version of Frankenstein have no idea what I'm talking about here. And I want a small portrait of that famous painting of Mary Shelley that looks something like this. You have no idea what I just scribbled there. That could be like one of those bottles that has a little ship in it. But it's like, wait, it's gonna be the bottle with the broken ship in it. Broken ship, mother ship in it. But the bottle is gonna be broken. So it's actually gonna be like a sunken destroyed ship inside the cracked open bottle that is filled with rainwater. You know what, I will scrap this one, move the calendar down here, and add the broken ship, and just keep the portrait of Mary Shelley. I had this box for some equipment, so let's just like scatter a few like here and there. Obviously make just more details on these parts. Detail. I will need to make the fishing line properly on the character. Maybe in the end we can add some, well, not over the eyeball, some more pieces of hair in the face. And I'm like having a little second guesses about the lighting on the face, so I might partially redo that one if I feel like it. The little indication of a path and some rocks or something, maybe a bush here. More clouds here, so it is not actually raining at this location right now, but it's like coming towards us. Okay, those are all the things that I want to do. Anyways, let's add all of these things that I just discussed in like one session if I can, and then we will see how the picture will look afterwards. In the following little clip, let's see if you can guess what the mistake was that I almost created here. Yes, I did just try to paint a colored photograph from 1902. The last stretch is really just adding more details, including those little elements I talked about, most notably the recreation of the famous Mary Shelley painting, the most in-your-face reference I might have ever left in any picture. I also expanded many of the little things, adding more bottles, refining the ones I had just to make them not look like blobs, adding more damage to the walls, more rubble to the floor, adding the actual floorboards, the clouds and the fog, and some of the environmental elements outside, and all of them to just come together. In the end, I almost remade the entire face as well. I remade the eyes, some of the light on the face too, and now you can see a much less all over the place face. That sounded funny, with a clear definition of light on it. Obviously then adding the fishing line and the pieces of hair in the face was the final part of trying to make you feel things. Let's just say that I do think I managed to capture the expression and the feeling of someone lost, trying to reconnect with some part of their past, only to find ruins, possibly making not only the little abandoned lab haunted, but also the ghosts themselves being haunted by what was and what could have been, totally unrelated to anything. Why are you looking at me like that? And all of it just started out with 3 random prompts. By the way, I hope you can't hear the ambulance in the background. What was I saying? It just started out as randomly picking 3 little things I wanted to turn into one, and just going with that idea and just rolling them together into one piece and seeing where it goes. You know, creating something just one little step at a time without really planning it ahead beyond just a basic idea, like how I got that bottle on the wall. That might be my favorite part of the entire image, the little like ship in the bottle that is cracked open and has actual water inside. That's just, you know, it's just gonna be my little favorite part of the image, maybe even more so than the character themselves. Okay, I am about to go on my exercise break in like 10 minutes, but I am going to call the majority of this finished. I will only touch up the face a little bit. I really want to blend together this part of the head and the hair so it has more of a seamless transition here in the shadow. I want to just mess around a little bit with the facial features, because I feel like they could be a little bit just squished around and made better. And then that is going to be the end of this piece, and that is when the hard part will come in, when I will need to edit all of it together and you know, really pay attention not to alt tab out of this for about 3 months. Sounds like a reasonable thing to be afraid of, so that's how it goes. Yeah, at this point I spent like 10 minutes on touching up the face, nothing really interesting, just pushing little pixels around. I didn't even bother turning the face cam on. Anyways, tell me what you think, and I will see you hopefully sooner than regularly. So thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day. Create something, even if it's for a challenge that's already over, because that's like my thing pretty much. I mean, it's not over, it's still going, but anyways, the most important thing is to not forget to have fun while doing that, and farewell. I almost made the mistake of making this shelf from above, but you know, the horizon line is there, therefore we will see the bottom part of that shelf.